See, I've got 30 and this is the right answer, so I'll just rename this column as total drivers. Let us move to the next problems. Total number of earnings which happened, sum of fare from trips. Into the dashboard, if you will look, the same information is present here. You can see the total number of driver earnings, the total number of completed trips. Exactly, we want to create the same dashboard which we are having. Additionally, I know we need to do some more advanced level of problems, but initially we need to get these kind of data points ready here, so that later on while creating the dashboard we can use the same concepts. Total number of completed trips, so this is something similar to the end ride is equal to 1, or you can do simple select count of star or count of distinct trip ID. From trips, because as I just clearly mentioned that into the trips table we just have the information on the trips which have successfully completed or successfully ended. So I'll just execute this. You can see total number of completed trips is 983. Total number of searches which took place, we can see total number of searches which took place. It is a column which is searches, and I just need to do a sum of searches. I just execute this. So you can see I have got 2161 as the total number of trips for which searches happened. Now out of this 2161, I'll just copy this so that it is easy for us to understand a customer journey. So this is the total number of searches happened. Now total number of searches which got estimate. So I'll just use the same query and I'll change the column name. You can see the searches which got estimate is 1758. It means the number of people who search, and this was the fair estimate which was there. Let us move to the next problem. Searches for codes, that means after seeing the fare, how many searches happened for seeing the drivers or searching for drivers. Just right here, searches for codes. See, I've got 1455. I'll just copy paste here. Go back to the next question. Searches which got codes 1277. I'll copy this. Number of trips which were cancelled by drivers or not cancelled. I'll just execute this statement. 1140. Is this right? Is the data which I'm having here is right? Absolutely not, because the question which I'm having here is total number of trips which have been cancelled by the driver, and the answer which I'm getting here is total number of trips which have not been cancelled by the drivers, because you can see onto my sheet the column says driver not cancelled, and if it is 1, which means the driver has not cancelled the trip. So if it is summing up, you can see the sum is coming out of 1140. So out of the total number of trips, we would want to subtract this number to get the total number of trips which have been cancelled by the driver. So I'll just execute this statement. You can see I've got the answer 1021. All these numbers here, because it will help us to explain the customer journey. Customer is transitioning from one part of the application to the other part. Let us move to the next problem here. Total OTP entered. Third. You can see it is showing as 983. I'll copy this also. Move to the next problem, and this is total number of end right. So I'll just write here end right. I'll execute this. So this is also 983. These numbers helps us to explain the entire journey which the customer is taking from one part of the application to the other part of the application. So if I just want to know what is the total number of customers which have dropped at a particular point of time, let's say I've done the search from which location to which location, but I'm not interested to see the fare estimate. I'm not interested into that part. How do I get to know? So you can see from 2161 customers who actually searched for the from which location to which location they want to go, 81% of the total number of customers got a fair estimate. Only 81%. So what about this 19%? Why did they got dropped off from the application? What was the reason? This kind of things helps us to understand new behavior of the customers, and business wants to know these kind of things because the 19% of the customers are very much valuable to them. Businesses don't want to lose any customer basically, so they would invest time into the data which we are presenting. Because these data points, they helps the business to take data driven decisions. Similarly, let us do one thing. Let us drag this. Let us try to see. So you can see out of, let's say 758 customers who saw the fare, only 1455 customers later on went on to search for drivers. There was a drop of 18%. You can see. So for 18% of the customers, I would want to understand the pain point, like why are they dropping? Is the fare which is being shown is too high for them, or there is the competitor application which is showing a lower fare than what we are displaying onto the application. So all of these kind of different customer journeys, it helps us to explain or understand the business much more better way. Similarly, you can take the all the other data points which I'm having onto my screen. You can just see how the customer behavior is happening and at what point the highest number of customers are getting dropped. So total number of searches which happened and total, I'll just show you at which point the massive drop happens. So from this you can just see like the drop is kind of similar, around 15% only into each and every step the customers are getting dropped. So we are losing 15% of our customers at each and every step, which is a very bad or a very area to improve upon. So this is basically how the businesses, they take data driven decisions here. Now the final journey from the customer searched and number of customers who completed the rides, what is the percentage? Let us just quickly see. So end ride divided by total number of searches, you can see only 45% of the customers which we have converted. So out of 100 customers which came to my shop, only 45 customers are interested in buying things from my shop. So 45%, I don't know how good or bad this number is, but definitely any businesses, they want to improve upon as much as upon this particular number. How will they improve? Definitely through the data points which are present here. So you can just understand how important is data into today's world. Let's move to the next problems. I just did this practice to just show you how businesses understands data. So I'll just move to the next problems. Is average distance per trip. So what is the average distance of the trips which is happening on the Namma Yatri application? 14 is the average distance for the trips which are happening onto the application. Let us move to the next. So average fare per trip, similarly to what the above concept was. So you can see the average fare was 764. This is also pretty much simple, so I'll just do a sum of distance from trips. You can see I've got the total number of distance traveled. Let us move to the next problem. So which is the most used payment method? So I'll just do a select star from trips, and if you'll see there's a column for payment method, like from which payment method the payment happened, and we want to know which is the most preferred payment method. So I just want to do here of fare method, and I'll do a count of fare method from trips group by fare method, and later on I'll order by onto the basis of the count of fare method, or instead of fare method it would be more logical to do a count of distinct trip ID. So I'll just copy this, paste this here, and let us put this into the descending order. Execute this statement. You can see the fourth payment method is the most used one. So I just want to get the topmost. So I've just got a top one because limit does not work into the SSMS. So we need to apply the top function here to get only one row, or the topmost row, so which we have got here. So payment method fare method is 4 is the most used one. Now, which was this payment method? I would just, how do we get to know which was this payment method? Because 4 does not signify anything to a layman, but I want to display this information stakeholders. So how do I get this? So we have another table here which is payment. I'll do a select star from payment and join a dot method from payment A, inner join B on A dot ID is equal to B dot fare method. Let us execute this statement. You can see it is coming out as credit card. So credit card was the most used payment method. Again, this is a very dummy data. This does not signify anything which is happening to the real world, because most of the times we are paying through UPI. So credit card is never an option, but that is the dummy data which I have created here. So highest payment was done through which instrument? The question can be understood into two ways. So the highest payment can be, so into the entire particular day, which was the highest payment amount happened for a particular trip, and we could just get the payment instrument for that particular trip. The other way can be we could just get a sum of the payment method, and later on we will get to know, like, into the entire day which payment method had the highest payment amount done. So we'll solve this problem into both ways. So the very first thing which I'll do here is I'll do a select star from trips. I'll just execute this. So the highest payment was done through which instrument? So I want to know the highest payment here. So I'll just do one thing. I'll order by onto the basis of the fare, and that too onto the descending order. And I'll just write here top one. Let us execute the statement. You can see the highest fare was of 1500 rupees, and it was done through the fare method as 4. So I'll do one thing, I'll just copy the same statement from here. I would put this into a subquery. Let us execute this. So you can see the highest payment was done through the credit card. So the highest payment, which was highest paid trip of the day, was done through the credit card. Now the question can be looked into a different way also. So you can see I have all the trips details into the trips table, and I'll do one thing here, method, and I'll do a sum of fare so that I get to know which is the payment instrument through which the highest amount was paid into the entire day, just not for a particular trip, but into the entire day, which was the payment instrument through which highest amount was paid. It could be same, it could be different, you never know. So we want to check. So I'll just do a group by on the basis of fare method. And here also the same funda I'll be applying. I'll be ordering by on the basis of the sum of fare into the descending order, and later on I'll be applying a top one of fare method. I'll just execute this code. You can see using the fare method as 4, the highest total number of payments happened. It's just a coincidence, but things can, you could get different information. So you should definitely check whenever you're doing this exploration task or analysis. So I'll just put this into the bracket, execute this. This is also credit card. So credit card is the payment instrument through which the highest amount was paid into the entire day. So let us move to the next problem. Two location had the most number of trips. So which two location means from which location to which location the highest number of trips happened. Basically we want to know which are those two locations in which my customers are traveling the most, so that later on if I would run any offer, so more customers would come, or if I give any offer to customers who are traveling into both of these regions, they would attract through these particular offers and they would continuously use my application for further more trips. So basically I don't want to lose my potential customers which I am having right now, and also I want to gain new customers. So I'll just do a select star from trips, execute the statement. So I want to know which two location had the most number of trips. How do I get to know? So I'll just do a select location from and location to, count of location 2. So all of these location from and location to, I'll be grouping them, so I'll be treating them as a kind of a pair, and for this particular pair I want to know what is the highest number of times which pair is repeating the most into the further rows. So pair 16,8, 24,33. So this can be considered as a kind of a pair. So from which location to which location the customers are traveling the most. So I'll do a count of location 2 from trips. I'll group by onto the basis of location from to location 2, and I'll order by onto the basis of the count of location 2 descending. Let us execute this. So you can see there are two different locations which have been traveled the most, or the total number of trips which has happened. Okay, actually we should be doing here trip ID, that to count of distinct trip ID which is happening. That will give a more better picture here. I mean the answer could be the same, but that makes more sense, because the group which we are creating location from and location to, the total number of trips which are happening into those groups. So basically you can see 35,5 and 16,21. Total number of trips which has happened is 5. So this looks like it is, so these locations are the highest locations through which the trips are happening. So 35,5. So I'll just put here 35. You can see the total number of trips which has happened between 35 to 5 is 5 for me. So that is the information which we are seeing onto a screen. Okay, which two locations? So we have the answer. I'll just write here top two. You can see these two locations, they have the same number of trips. That is why I would want to get both of these rows here, but I cannot, hard code this two every time. Let's say there are 4 different locations having the same number of highest trips. So would I write here 4? No. So what is the best way to solve this problem which I'm having here? So which is kind of a dynamic. So number of rows can change which are having the same number of trips. So we'll do here something. I'll put this into a subquery, and I'll just do a select star comma, use a dense rank, because dense rank, it won't skip the next value. So dense rank of trip over order by trip into the descending order. So this is the rank. Let us execute this. Ranking has been provided, and from this data I'll just filter out the data where the rank is equal to 1. So just write a select star from this table where rank is equal to 1. That's it. Let us execute this query. You can see we have got the correct answer, or the answer which we wanted to have, because the 2 locations which had the most number of trips, ideally we should get all those locations which have the highest number of trips. So basically this was the simple solution for this. Let us move to the next problem. Top 5 earning drivers. Okay, so I'll just do a select star from trips. Let us execute this statement. So how do I know which drivers are earning the highest? So I'll just do a driver ID and sum of fare from trips group by driver ID. Let us see the output. So you can see we have got the fare amount. I'll just put this into a sub bracket. Select star comma, we'll do a dense rank over order by fare, that too in descending order. Will rank this from the subquery. Execute this. You can see the rank has been provided, and from this I want to get the top 5 earning drivers. So the logic is pretty much simple. Select star from this where rank is equal to 5. Sorry, rank is less than 6. Let us give a name to the subquery. And you can see we have the information of the driver IDs which are earning the most through the application. So these are the 5 drivers who are earning the most. Why do I need to use the dense rank function? Because there can be multiple drivers who are earning the same amount in the entire day. So basically I don't want to lose the information of the top 5 earning drivers. So that is why I've used the dense rank function. A detailed video onto the rank, dense rank, and the row number function. So if you haven't checked out that video, I will put the link into the description box, or you can check my advanced SQL playlist.